Yes, lads, welcome back to another rebuild on the channel for you today, guys. We've got Manchester United and we've got an Erik ten Hag rebuild. Obviously, it's been heavily done before. I've just seen all the proper YouTubers do stuff like this, but I thought, you know what? I'll give it a bash. Now they're linked with quite a few decent marquee signings in real life. I feel like we'll do a little rebuild with them and we'll see what we can do with this team. So, for the first season, we start off with a budget of £163 million. Quite a bit too much money for Man United, I'd say. They don't spend that sort of money anymore in real life whatsoever. So I'll take it for about £100 million. I feel like that's like more of a realistic amount of money to spend for a team of this size. And I think we'll be fine with that. We'll have a look at what areas we're going to rebuild for this first season. As obviously, it's an alright team. It's an alright team. It really is. The defence is decent. They've got like new signings like Lisandro Martinez. They've got Malaysia as well, the left back from the Dutch league. And I mean, we're getting rid of Harry Maguire. That's all that matters. And we do get rid of him, trust me. I'm not even going to show you, but we are going to do it. So we are going to replace Fred in this first season. Fred and McTominay, whichever one gets the least amount of game time. And we're going to replace him with a player who's heavily linked with Manchester United in real life. And we'll see who it is in just a second. So the man who we're going to sign to replace him is of Real Madrid origin. The former Porto midfield superstar Casemiro. For £90 million as an open offer, they want £119 million. You're worth like 50 in real life. It's one thing I don't like with this game compared to Football Manager. The transfer evaluations are so outlandish and ridiculous. So yeah, we'll offer £109 million. That seems like a fair deal in my opinion. So we'll get over the line with Don Carlo Ancelotti. Look at his lovely parting. What a lovely man. So yeah, looks like a good sign on the cards. We are going to agree a contract with him as well. We don't always show the contract terms, but I feel like for a player of this calibre, it makes sense to show the contract terms. So from a crucial squad role, as you would expect, for a top 5 midfielder in the world, in my opinion. He wants a 3-year deal. We want a 4. We want him all the way through this save to prove a point, what difference he can make to this side. 175k a week seems reasonable for a player of Casemiro's stature. So yeah, we've got all that over the line. Very, very nice signing indeed for the first season, which is going to be fantastic, to be fair. Or at least I hope so. I think he's good, and he should make a massive difference. And then one more signing, which we're going to make, is the Stuttgart Austrian striker, Sasa Kaladzic. Is he Austrian? I feel like he's Austrian. I'm going to guess that he is. But yeah, he's linked with Man United in real life. Again, he's a lot better than 77 rated in real life. He's just injury prone, unfortunately. So I'll offer £15.2 million as the transfer fee. They want £17 million. We'll just do it, Stuttgart. I'm not that fussed, for being honest. So we'll see how those transfers affect the team. Taylor starts in goal for the first season with the back foot of Dalot. Martinez and Varane need to swap around because one's left-footed, one's right-footed. We've got Shaw as the left-back for the first season. Still 82 rated, still over Malaysia. Midfield 3 of Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno Fernandes, who's the captain for this season. Then the forward line of Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Marcus Rashford. So it should be decent for the first season. Hopefully we can get a good finish, and we'll see how I get up to in this first season, and hopefully it's a top of the league podium finish. So we actually finished second in the first season on 81 points. Not too bad, really. I'm not going to complain with that whatsoever. Manchester City win the league with 85 points, unfortunately. Villa and Newcastle finished 4th and 5th. Liverpool finished 8th in their first season with Darwin Núñez. What a weird season this is. I really can't understand this game sometimes. So strange, but still, very, very nice first season indeed. As we lose the FA Cup final to Manchester City again. They've already done a double over us in terms of the domestic cups. What about the Carabao Cup? Let's see that as well. Man City win the Carabao Cup as well, and we lose on penalties in the semi-finals. That's super disappointing, it really is. Also in the Champions League, we shouldn't really be, because obviously they didn't make that in real life, but we'll see where we finished in that anyway. So we win our group with Atlanta, Villarreal and BS Young Boys. 18 points from 18 available. Very, very nice to see. Then we lose to Dortmund 5-1 at home in the second leg. The less said about that, the better. Seriously, that is an absolutely disgusting result, as Bayern win the UCL in Season 1. So yeah, it is what it is, but we'll see the stats for the end of the first season. Bruno Fernandes is the top scorer with 25 goals. Also the top assister as well with 11. Ronaldo's the second top scorer with a respectable 19 goals. It's not too bad. Sancho's got 18, Rashford's got 15. So the front three shed out the goals very nicely. And then Anthony Martial. Why is he still at the club? I have no idea. It is what it is. It's the game. It really is. Fred's also played a hatful of games this season, and he's been decent by the looks of it. As Casemiro's had a decent impact in his first season as well. A cup final and the second place finish in the league. Not too bad for the first season, and hopefully we can improve in the second season. But before we do anything, we're going to see how these assist and goal stats affect the overall stat pad for the first season. I think you'll see a familiar face as the top scorer and top assister, as Bruno Fernandes actually achieves both in his first season. 25 goals and 11 assists. Not too bad for his first season. Big boy Bruno. And hopefully we get a good budget for the next season. So speaking of budgets, as I said about the last season, we will see this one with £353 million as the budget for season 2. We're going to change it a little bit, give ourselves about 150. I think that's more realistic for Man United. We don't have 350 million. The Glazers own us. It's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. So yeah, we've got a lot of money to spend, a lot of wage budget as well, as you can see. And I think there's only like a couple of additions to the team that I feel like we have to make as a definite certainty. I feel like the central midfield role, currently occupied by Fred and McTominay in like a sharing role, and Donny van de Beek, we need to change it for an all-round world-class midfielder. So I feel like there's only one man who we can replace with that, a man who's heavily linked with Man United in real life. And Fred's got to go. He really has. Just a quick spoiler for you. A man who's heavily linked, who's unlikely to go. But we're going to sign him anyway because this is somewhat realistic. But yeah, Frenkie de Jong is the first signing of this new season. £140 million is what we offer for Barcelona. They want 197. That's ridiculous, Xavi. It really is. We'll offer £167 million. They like quoting 50 in real life. It's so weird, this game with transfers. But yeah, we'll agree on £175 million. That seems like a fair amount of money, in my opinion. And obviously have to sort out the contract as well. Erik ten Hag, obviously, with his bold beautifulness, getting ready to do this contract. Crucial squad role as well, 89 rated. That midfield 3 will be absolutely fire. I can't believe we're going to get a midfield 3 out like this in Season 2. Absolutely ridiculous. 5-year deals, crucial squad role, 300k a week, a £2 million signing on fee. And that seems like it could be an absolutely perfect signing for us in the central midfield role. As I said quite a few times, he's replacing Fred, and I feel like Fred, as I say, Fred's got to go. He's not quite there anymore. He's not quite as good as he used to be. If you can say Fred was good at any point, but still, not the final signing of this season. We're not going to sign a new backup goalkeeper for Tom Heaton. Sorry, I get my words mixed up quite regularly. We're going to sign the Ukrainian international Andrei Lunin from Real Madrid. I think about £15 million is the fee we pay. He wants a 4-year contract, which seems reasonable because that's how I'm going to be here for another 4 years. And I think he's like 76, 77 rated, which is going to be great for a backup keeper for De Gea and potentially a future keeper, but I can't really see it. 41k a week seems reasonable, and that is the second signing and final signing through the door as we welcome Andrei Lunin into the club. So team looks pretty good for Season 2. It really, really does. So we'll see that team very, very quickly before we move on into the end of Season 2. Today starts with the goalkeeper, the back four of Dalot, Varane, Martinez and Luke Shaw. Midfield 3 of Casemiro, Fernandes and Frenkie de Jong. What a midfield 3 that is. That's a title-winning midfield, it really is. We've got the forward line of Rashford, Sancho and Ronaldo. Again, such a good front 3. It really, really is. We'll hopefully do some damage this season. All on form. Sancho's 88 rated now. Let's see what we get up to by the end of Season 2. And as we can see, we have finished in the final of the Champions League. That's a very good season already. Got RB Leipzig in the final as well, so it should be, or it should be a win. Realistically, we should beat RB Leipzig in the Champions League final. They've got a very weird team. We've got a very strong team like you'd expect. So I'll sim this game. Ronaldo is the striker as always. Fernandes is the captain. Hopefully we can lift the UCL at the end of this. And we'll sim the game at Old Trafford for the final of the UCL. We win it on penalties 5-4 after a tantalising 3-0 draw where they scored every single shot. We had 7 shots, only scored 3. Start off with, they got 2 goals, Olmo and Silva. Ronaldo replied just before half-time. Sancho scored just after, then Belotti and Ronaldo scored the final 2 goals. And yeah, very, very nice to see indeed. What a start to the, what an end to the second season. Absolutely fantastic. Winning the Champions League already. Very, very nice to see. As I keep saying, it's my favourite quote, to be fair. Very, very nice to see. But yeah, we'll see the Premier League as well. Unfortunately, as we can already see, we finished 4th in that. Disappointing season. 10 losses in that 38 game spell as well. 21 wins, 7 draws, 70 points. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. City win the league for the 2nd year in a row. But we also win the Community Shield, which is irrelevant. We don't make it to the final of the FA Cup as Leicester beat Arsenal in that. We don't win the Carabao Cup because Manchester City win that for a 2nd year in a row, I believe. Very, very poor performance in domestic football this season. But we're doing the Champions League, and that's all that matters. As we win our Group E quite comfortably, 16 points out of 18. We also beat Roma in the round of 16. We beat we beat Manchester City on aggregate in the quarters. Beat Leverkusen in the semis. Very difficult games. 2 German teams in the semis and final, and very, very nice to see. We beat Man City as well, and they've not won the Champions League yet, so that's all that matters. So we'll see the stats for the end of this 2nd season. So we see the top scorer this season is Jadon Sancho with a heavily respectable 29 goals, now 91 rated. Ronaldo's got 27. Fernandes has still got 24 goals. Rashford's got 9. That's not great, Marcus. It really isn't. We'll see the top assister again in a minute as well. And that is also Jadon Sancho. He's stormed to the top of both stat pads at this rate. Still a good season though. Frenkie de Jong in his debut season with 7 goals and 11 assists. Very good season by all approximations. Very, very nice to see indeed. Bruno Fernandes still carrying a midfield burden in midfield, a goal burden in midfield as it seems. But that midfield 3 looks like it's working like an absolute treat. Very, very nice season. As we can see, winning the Champions League. It don't matter about the league. We'd rather win the Champions League, to be honest, as well. So see how these stats affect the stat pad, as Bruno Fernandes is still the top scorer with 49 goals. Literally, like 2 ahead of Jadon Sancho, while Sancho is now the top assister with 20 over Bruno Fernandes, who's got like 17. So we'll indeed start Season 3 with an absolutely ridiculous budget of £473 million. Again, it's unrealistic. It really is. Erik ten Hag's got a 56 manager rating, and he won't be getting that much money to play around with it. Financial Fair Play would have a field day with that. They really would. But yeah, the team for this season, we're going to replace the right back, I believe, Diogo Dalot, whatever his name is. I feel like he's just not good enough anymore. Maybe Rafael Varane as well to get a bit of youth in. But we've got a lot of just questions and spaces to fill in this team. So the first signing that we are going to make as we transition across is actually a striker replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo. We're looking at Victor Osimhen from Napoli, the former Lille striker. They're asking for £128 million. We want 115 to pay. They want 119. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. £190 million seems absolutely reasonable for a player of that quality. We're also going to sign an 81 rated regen centre-back, Paris. I can't pronounce his name very well. But yeah, he looks very good. He's a prospect. He wants a rotation role. So yeah, we'll do that. He's 19 years old. As I say, 81 rated. We'll offer him a 5-year deal. He could be a potential replacement for Varane. And we'll offer him £40,000 a week. So that's a very good signing in the bag. And then we're going to bring in one more player, a central defender. As I said, Varane is sort of looking like he's on his way out, being like 30 years old now, 31 years old. I mean, that Palacios is rated at 44.5 million already. But we're not going to swap him for Tomori because it doesn't really work like that. It's a little bit dodgy in my eyes. So I'll offer £79 million. They want 99. We'll just do it. We'll just do it. We've spent like 230 million this window. I think that makes sense for Man United. We've sold some players as well, of course, and we'll see how these changes affect the team. So De Gea starts in goal again. We've got the usual back four of Malaysia, Tomori, Varane and Dalot. Sorry, Tomori's quite new, isn't he? Also the midfield three of Casemiro, De Jong and the captain Fernandes. And the forward line, we've got Sancho, Rashford, and of course the new man, Victor Osimhen in central striker. So let's see how we do by the end of Season 3. And as you can see, we're in the final of the Champions League yet again. This time against our nearest and dearest rivals, Manchester City. This is going to be horrendous. We've got 67 manager rating, which seems quite promising to be fair, because that could mean we've won anything to be fair. Very strong team for this final. Obviously, De Gea starts in goal. Tomori looks like he's had a good breakout season. The midfield three is looking absolutely ridiculous. Then Osimhen's obviously gone up by a rating. So hopefully we'll see what we do with this team. It's a very strong team on paper. Hopefully the front three and the midfield three carry us to victory. So simulate this game against Man City at the London Stadium. And we win 2-0. Very, very nice to see. Osimhen with the opening goal in the 18th minute. And then Ronaldo comes off the bench for Marcus Rashford. and scores in the 68th minute. Very, very nice victory indeed. Can't believe we won the UCL 2 years in a row, guys. That's quite ridiculous, if I'm being honest. I didn't think we would win it once with this Man United team with the state of it. But obviously signing Casemiro and Frenkie de Jong has made a massive difference to that. And very, very nice to see indeed. As I keep saying, an excellent trophy to win. We've also won the Premier League, as we can see. 75 points. That's a little bit rough. But, you know, it's still a league title. We'll ignore it. And we've beat City anyway. That's all that matters. 22 wins, 9 draws, 7 losses. 85 goals scored, very respectable. 54 conceded, not so much. But still, the top 4 looks pretty realistic. And the bottom 3, Leeds, Watford, West Brom, looks very realistic. So the FA Cup, Liverpool win the FA Cup. Where do we even make it to? Round 4 maybe? Yeah, round 4 we lose to Liverpool, who win it. The Carabao Cup, see who wins that. Liverpool win it again. 2 domestic trophies for them this season. And where do we get to in this? Round 3? We lose to Newcastle on penalties. Brilliant. UEFA Super Cup, we beat Chelsea 3-0, although it's not a major. And obviously, with the Champions League, we beat City 2-0 in the final. Very, very nice to see. Let's see how we got there. We won a group with Piemonte Calcio, Ajax, and KRC Genk. That's a very weird group. Genk beat us in one of the games. We also beat Athletic Bilbao in the round of 16. We beat Real Madrid in the quarter-finals on aggregate. Very nice to see again. That's my favourite saying that. We also beat PSG 4-0 on aggregate. That's ridiculous. Such a unrealistic result to beat PSG 4-0 on aggregate when they've got Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. But obviously, the win against Man City is all that matters. We've won 2 trophies this year. We've done a double, haven't we? Yeah. The Premier League and Champions League. As you see, the top scorer for the 3rd season, Victor Osimhen, with an absolutely fantastic goal haul. 32 goals for him, while the rest of the players, Rashford gets 23, Sancho gets 16, Ronaldo gets 13. The top assist as well, De Jong is the top assister with 12, while Fernandes also gets 12, and Sancho gets 11. So very, very nice to see in terms of an overall season, and hopefully we can bring through all this fantastic work this season into the new season. The stat pad for season 3 reads Sancho is the top scorer and top assister with 63 goals and 31 assists, a combination of 94 contributions in 3 seasons. That's ridiculous. It really is. As we'll move on to season 4, we have a budget of around £250 million, which is altered from 600 million. That seems more realistic. It seems like a more achievable and a mountable amount of money to actually use and not get carried away with the rebuild. Since it's meant to be fairly realistic, we'll just call it a realistic rebuild. We'll call it what it is. It's fairly realistic. So we are going to look for fullbacks this season and still maybe a full replacement for Varane. So let's see what we're going to make for the first signing of season 4, the penultimate season of the series. And it's an absolutely world-class left-back. Theo Hernandez seems like the perfect man. £134.1 million. That seems perfect. We agree a fee with my lookalike, who's just a bit like browner, a bit more tanned. So yeah, going to be a fantastic signing this, to be honest. We'll just have to agree personal terms with him as well. Obviously, his crucial squad role would make the most amount of sense since he's 89 rated. 5-year deal is what we want, mate. We don't want you for 4, we want you for 5. All the way through your prime. No release clause either. How much can I offer him a week? 250? 220? Yeah, that seems like a good amount of money. £3 million signing on fee as well. That is an absolutely tremendous signing. In the bag, Theo Hernandez. I thought we were Lucas then. Theo Hernandez, they look the exact same though, don't they? Will add a lot of depth and flair to the team, and we'll see just where he slots in right after we sign one more player who we agreed terms with. We've just agreed to sign a young right winger called Saulo or whatever as a backup for Rashford, and we'll see how these 2 guys fit in the team. So De Gea starts in the goal for the new season. Dalot, Tomori, Martinez and Hernandez as the back 4. Midfield 3 as always, captain Fernandes, Casemiro and De Jong, who's now 93 rated. Then with the front line of Rashford, Sancho and Victor Osimhen, who's looking to recapture his form from last season. So we'll see how we get up to at the end of season 4 as we finish 2nd in the Premier League again. Oh, we've still won 1 title out of 4. That's a little bit disappointing. There's 74 points. I mean, 76 would have took us to the title. Very, very strange as Forest are literally staying in this league so well mid-table every season. Community Shield went the way of Liverpool as well. First round of the season went towards the Reds. We also win the FA Cup though, 2-1 against Arsenal in the final. Very, very nice to see for another trophy for us. How do we get there? We beat Liverpool in the round 5. Round 6, we beat Spurs. That's a hard run. And semi-finals, we beat Wolves by 3-1. So yeah, excellent domestic cup to win. About the Carabao Cup. We also beat Liverpool in that by 2-0. How do we get there? 2-0 win against Huddersfield in round 4. We beat Wolves 2-0 again in the quarter-final. Semi-finals, we also beat Spurs on aggregate quite comfortably. And then obviously a win against Liverpool. What about the UEFA Super Cup? Sporting win on penalties. Of course they do. Of course they do. The Champions League, let's hope that's gone our way as well. We've won it for the 3rd year in a row against Real Sociedad. 2-1 in the final. How do we get there? Let's have a look. We beat Roma, Porto and Midtjylland in the group stages. Just about beat Roma, to be fair. Round of 16, also we beat Real Madrid on penalties. Not exactly the most comprehensive of victories, but still not too bad at all. Quarterfinals, we beat Atletico de Madrid on penalties. Second time around, we beat Man City 4-0 in the semis. Man City hate us in Europe, they really do. 3rd Champions League out of 4. Very, very fantastic season on the back of it. We'll see how the players have performed this year as well. I'm guessing well, to be honest. The top scorer this season is Osimhen again with again, excellent amount of goals. 30 goals. Same for Sancho, 16 for Fernandes, 14 for De Jong, and 10 for Rashford. Wailanga chipped in with a few goals as well as a backup right winger. What a season that is. What about the top assister? I think it might be Sancho again, to be honest, running away with the stat pad as far as it's seen. But yeah, what a season that is. Second in the league, yeah, not great, but another Champions League and another cup to add to the collection. So I think that's 5 overall now that we've won this season. Very, very nice to see. I love saying it, but yeah, excellent season through and through. And we'll see how the players' performances have affected the stat pad after another high-scoring season from Osimhen and Sancho. So Sancho still remains the top scorer in this save with 93 goals in 4 seasons. And he also remains the top assister with 48, just 2 or 3 ahead of Bruno Fernandes in second place for the assist record. So season 5 will begin with a monumental budget of £685 million. Let's get it lowered. Let's get it lowered. I don't think we need that much money, to be perfectly honest with you. It seems so unrealistic to have that when we're trying to be realistic, at least a little bit. So we'll give ourselves £300 million for this new season. I think that'd be realistic with the players they have. We are actually going to replace Dalot this season. We've been thinking about it for 2 seasons, to be fair. But I think this season's finally the one. As we see Varane's 89 rated now, must have started over Martinez. And maybe a replacement for Rashford as well. So the first signing we're going to make is actually a left back, Nuno Mendes. We're actually going to make both our fullbacks a right wing back and a left wing back. And we're going to replace Dalot with Hernandez as the right wing back. And this guy's going to play as the left wing back. For some reason he plays for Lyon now. He went back to Sporting Lisbon at the end of his loan. For some reason PSG didn't activate to sign him when they always do. But, you know, it is what it is. We've benefited off it, obviously. And then we're going to sign one more player. A Sporting Lisbon right winger. You've heard it all before, but this guy is Pedro Goncalves. A little bit of a Ronaldo copycat sort of player. He's very skillful in real life. And he's going to be excellent competition for Rashford on the right wing. Also, I forgot actually, we're going to sign a centre forward to add a bit more depth to the striking role. Ronaldo's still there. He's still scoring 6 to 10 goals a season. But he's 39. We're going to sign this guy, 18 years old, 81 rated, young Belgian striker. Van der Velde. It looks alright. He could be alright, to be honest. Be great in season 1, season 2, but obviously season 5 is where he finds himself at Old Trafford. So 3 very, very good signings there. And hopefully we can win maybe a quadruple. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. So see the team for this new season. De Gea starts in goal. We've got the back 4 of Hernandez, Tomori, Varane and Nuno Mendes. We've got the midfield 3 of Casemiro, Fernandes and De Jong, now 94 rated. Such a ridiculous player. Then we have the right wing. We have Goncalves replacing Rashford after a poor season last year. And then Sancho and Osimhen. But I have a feeling Rashford might squeak in over him based on preference. So yeah, very, very talented individuals in that team. Let's see how they do by the end of season 5. Where we win the Premier League in the final season. We've won it 2 times now in the save overall. 89 points above Liverpool with 78, Chelsea with 76 and Man City with 72. Forest stay up again for the 5th season in a row, while Palace, Watford and Norwich go down. We also win the Community Shield 4-1 against Chelsea in the final. What about the FA Emirates Cup as well? We don't make it into the final that way. Do we get in that? Let's have a look. Oh, no, we'll go straight to the Carabao Cup. We're not bothered. City win the Carabao Cup. That is disappointing. Where do we even finish? Where do we get knocked out? Looks like the 3rd round to West Brom. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We're doing the UEFA Super Cup against Fiorentina, our former rebuild side, in the final. And let's see how we do in the UCL. So 14 points, we win the group ahead of Porto, Leipzig and Rangers. Round of 16, we get a difficult draw against Bayern Munich, but we also managed to overcome them on aggregate. The quarterfinals also read us getting through against Atletico de Madrid, again for the 2nd in a row. We also beat Ponte Calcio in the semi-finals, 3-0 away from home and 4-0 on aggregate. And we also beat Barcelona in the final for the final time. We don't need to see the playing game for that. We win 2-1. That's the 4th Champions League out of 5. That is ridiculous. We're like Real Madrid. We literally are. So after that exponentially fantastic season, we'll see how the players performed overall. Osimhen's now 93 rated, the top scorer this season with a monumental 35 goals. The guy's ridiculous. He really, really is. Also, Fernandes is the 2nd top scorer, 27. Sancho hits 20. Rashford hits 20 with competition. And De Jong hits 12. So, yeah, what a season that is. Casemiro has been fantastic. The top assist of this season was Theo Hernandez, level with Bruno Fernandes. And Frenkie de Jong hits 8, along with Jadon Sancho, where Rashford hits 7, Mendes hits 4, and Casemiro hits 2. Casemiro's still 88 rated. He's been so good, but we'll see the players before the end of the save. 95 rated De Jong, 94 rated Sancho, 93 rated Bruno Fernandes, 93 rated Osimhen, 91 rated Theo Hernandez. De Gea is now 90 rated after a 2 negative season, but still, what a team this is. Absolutely ridiculous. As we'll see the stat pad for the final time, and Sancho walks away with both accolades. 103 goals for him and 56 assists. So yeah, excellent performance by Jadon Sancho. And that's all we've got for today, guys. Stay safe, drink some water. See you soon.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.